So I would say that's a nice segue from Monty Python to my next question, another Monty Python, which is Europe. Would you say that, like many Conservative leaders, Europe was central to her subsequent decline, end of her career?
Well, yes, but also in some way to her importance. When she became leader, she took the mainstream conventional view that, and she supported the referendum what we had then in 1975. She'd only just become leader, that we should stay in. It was in 2 months after she became leader. But when she became prime minister, she got more and more disillusioned, and this came to its height, of course, after the Bruges speech, when she said that integration was going too far. And in some ways, if you read that speech now, it's from a European point of view as opposed to a Brexit point of view, it's actually quite visionary, because what she says is, we mustn't have this little Western Europe. We must never forget, she says specifically, that Prague, Budapest and Warsaw are great European cities. So in the era of the Cold War, she's trying to expand the European Union to take in the oppressed communist countries. And she wasn't trying to break up the European Union at that point, though she was trying to make it less tight and less integrated. Gradually, this expressed, however, her growing concern about too much power from the the EEC as it then was. And this led to tremendous bust-ups with her senior colleagues. If you look at the fall of Mrs. Thatcher, the popular reason why she fell was A, that she'd gone on too long, and B, the poll tax. But the posh reason why she fell was Europe. That was what the big cheeses in the government, like Geoffrey Howe, really minded about. And I think they seriously thought that she was trying to move towards a policy of getting us out, and certainly, perhaps that's not quite certain, but certainly a policy of preventing us from going into the single currency, and they wanted us to go into the single currency. And so essentially, the argument that we've had ever since was created then, and Mrs. Thatcher, just as she left office, just before she left office, started to call for referendums on the subject. I interviewed her myself while in the campaign which forced her out, the leadership campaign of November 1990, and she floated the idea that there should be a referendum on membership of the single currency, which is fundamentally the same question in a way as Brexit. And so in a way, she is the mother of, for good or ill, of the great debate that we've been having, and we now seem at last to have resolved day after tomorrow, whenever it is.